Welcome, good morning, and welcome to Wildflower Garden Tarot. I have been my messages lately have really been not so much about your relationships, although, yes, that's coming, and not so much about what's happening with the DF, what's happening with the DM, what happened with the Karmic. Like, they haven't been that so much, and I feel like, maybe I won't get a lot of followers, but the followers that I have, this will be helpful to them. It'll resonate for you, because the readings, especially lately, have really, really, really tended to be, to help you become your best and strongest selves. And this has really kind of been going on since the COVID thing and quarantine, and I think that a lot of you in the collective, because you aren't able to run away from things and you're not able to bury yourself in work and whatnot, that you are thinking. And so my spirit guides really, I wasn't really interested in doing a YouTube channel, but my spirit really said to do it, because even if there's one person that it helps, it's worth it. And maybe you'll be that one person today. Okay? The more the better, obviously. But anyway, I always pull the oracle cards first just to save some time. And we got a really interesting message about a little bit of continuing from yesterday, but today's message is has more of a sense of risk-taking or seeing things with fresh new eyes. Okay, so the first one I got was Stone People with vigilance. I'm just going to push that card up a little bit. Vigilance. And so the message is to be vigilant means to open up your mind and senses to information as it's presented to you. Follow your gut, especially when it tells you to be worried about someone or something, and also pay close attention to opportunities that are coming in now. Especially if they're different or if they're new, or you're like, that's new. It's because you're new, right? If you've been doing this work as we've been traveling along, if you've been doing a lot of work in yourself, and that's been the message all along, you attract what you are. And so if you've been really working on yourself and establishing your boundaries and kind of pushing away the dead wood, if a lot of you are givers and you've given too much, or you've given too much to a relationship that was always somebody using you, then you've done the work on that and now you're a different person. So if you start bringing in new things, then really pay attention to that. So, and within that, assess what's coming. When new things are coming, assess your reaction to that, and just examine that. Because sometimes your responses to things that are new might be fearful, but that might be coming from your conditioning. So really analyze if that's your gut, if that is your intuition, or if that is a pattern that's been handed down to you. Okay, so be vigilant to follow your gut feeling and to recognize when new things are coming in. That's because you're changing. And when things fall away from you, right, that means you're changing. That what's not meant for you anymore will just kind of fall away. Which kind of brings us to this one. Meadow. and vulnerability. Hey, Courtney. Which also has a really interesting message. It says that you're in a place now where you can take risks with your feelings and take risks with the truth of who you are, the truth you know in your heart and soul. You no longer need to be subjected to your conditioned fears of letting others know who you really are. So as new things come in, evaluate your response, whether that is just a conditioned response or, if your intuition. Others may, as you're changing, others may judge, evaluate, criticize, and perhaps even put you down. These are really very real possibilities, because people in your life might not like you changing, especially if it means that you're not giving everything of yourself to them, right? So, fine. By trusting that you have the strength to deal with these reactions rather than responding adaptively and always playing it safe, you can more confidently allow yourself to be vulnerable. Always holding back from expressing your own truth can create an illusion of safety, but armed with your trust and your faith, you can choose to be vulnerable and share your authentic self with the world. So this is telling you now, again, that you're changing. You've been doing a lot of your work, which makes you more evolved. So then you're going to be bringing in new things, and old things are going to be going out. Don't be scared of that. But also, in that, things are going to feel weird and feel new. So just analyze what's coming in. Make sure if you're feeling some fear, check and make sure if that is your intuition telling you that's not safe, or if it's just your conditioned response. Because coming up is a powerful card, Tsunami. So this is telling me to buckle up, sweetheart, because you are getting the wake-up call now. It might be in the form of significant losses of friends, people, relationships, or a dramatic event in your life, typically one that you were not prepared for initially. You might feel stunned at first, surprised by the unexpected events that are occurring. Yet you also know that at this time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial, like that curtain that's been keeping you safe, to pull it back and just let the waves hit you and learn from it. This is what we in tarot reading call the tower moments, right? Often when you look back after something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadowed it happening. There may have been obvious clues that you ignored, or omens that were so subtle they were easy to dismiss. Okay, and Spirit is just telling me that who we are talking to may be the life partner, maybe the karmics, maybe that you're in a relationship that, now that you kind of thought was okay. But, with this time of reflection and this time of quarantine, I think almost everybody in the world has spent at least some time in quarantine. See, there's my little kitty, and she's kind of helping. You see, sorry with my big hand. There's our Courtney. Hey, Courtney, love. No, she's just kind of hanging up there. Anyway, well, let's just see. I forget the name of this deck. It's a little bit dark. It's gothic. It's a gothic deck. Like the images are really dark, but they're also really beautiful. Okay. Sorry. All right. I'm feeling like really, I've been downloading a lot lately. And I think partially that is from being in the earth, like in the garden. I'm very connected to earth. I'm in Aries Taurus cusp, which reminds me that I should maybe do some cusp readings one of these days. Maybe even today, because it's kind of a cold, cloudy, rainy day. We'll see. I'm not so sure about this deck, but we'll see. I kind of think that this is the deck to use today. Whoa, yep. Yep. So we're coming to the end of a cycle. Holy smokes. Interesting. So we've got the Ten of Wands, which in this deck is the Ten of Roses. I think. Yeah, Ten of Roses. And the Knave of Chalices. So in this one, like I said, these are really kind of dark. This is somebody breaking free. It's like somebody has had a taste from that cup, and it's allowed them, because that's like a gargoyle, right? And usually gargoyles are cement, right? And like even in some movies that they'll break. Was it Ghostbusters? Like from forever ago, and the gargoyles, and it's like, and like you're carrying this big cross on your back. So like maybe you're stuck in a relationship because you feel like you've made a vow or whatever. But oh, and there's a Ten of Swords on the bottom. Okay, sorry, that's a Nine of Wands. So, oh, okay, that's a Nine of Wands. So that's like you've been battling something, and you're coming out, like on the up end of that. But it's nearing the end of the cycle, and it's like you've had a taste of something. Now this is interesting because Spirit just said a taste of your own medicine. Ouch. We'll see about that. I'm wondering, have you maybe responded in ways that even you knew, responded sometimes, even out of frustration, in ways that you knew that wasn't, like afterwards, it's like, who have I become? Now what was that? That Queen of Wands slid out from the bottom of the deck. Can we get some clarification on that, Spirit? The Two of Wands. Right? So a sense of wanting to escape. A sense of being someplace else in your life. Okay, a little bit more clarification on this. I have a feeling I'm going to be using more than one deck. Okay, can we clarify this situation a little bit? Okay, who are we talking about here, Spirit? Can you give us a sign of who we're talking about here? Masculine, feminine, like this is relationship. I think it could be job. It could be job. Take it how it resonates for you. Are we done with this deck already? No. Tell us who. The Empress. Okay. That's what I thought. So you're sitting here. You've been a good wife. You've been a good mother. In this relationship, you are feeling like there's something off. The signs have been there, but you haven't been picking them up because then you have to deal with that. Right? Like, then you have to deal. And you just don't have the energy for that, really. But I mean, that has really been, like, you've been really battling that. But, you know, how in other, I mean, depending on if you've been looking at my other readings, but, you know, you could. Because I have spoken out a lot about you need to dump out your cup that's filled with baubles and useless crumbs and useless things so that Spirit can fill it up with blessings, because you're not going to be able to have a cup filled with blessings if it's already full of crud. And look at what she's doing with that cup. She's dumping it out. And there's the Tower on the bottom. Taking it. And the Nine of Swords. These aren't all in English. But they want me to take this card too. This is significant. Hold on a second. I just made some notes about this deck before. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Okay, so this is justice. But notice how this is, okay, take a look, that this is a serpent, right? Or like a dragon. And she's coming, like she's been wearing that dragon outfit. So you, that we're talking to, you are the woman, you are the feminine, that in many readings is the dreaded karmic. And in this, in dealing with, there's something off. Your pride has kept you trapped. And you've been wanting to go. I mean, you know that this relationship is not good, but you have been holding on for any number of reasons. It could be religious reasons. It could be pride. It could be the expectations of other people. I'm just going to look this up again because they just directed me to. Remain vigilant. Open up your mind and senses to information as it's presented to you. Follow your gut. Maintain. Okay, so you're changing. Oh, so you're awakening. You're changing. You're doing your work. You're releasing yourself from this kind of serpent energy. So this is like you drank the poison that you've given to somebody else. So your life partner, your karmic, you may have been trying a number of ways to, to keep that masculine. Some of you may have even thought about spells, but that can come back on you. interestingly enough. So you're letting that cup empty. That cup is poisoning you more than it's poisoning anybody else. And you're reevaluating anything and claiming your victor status over your victim status. And you're letting everything fall as it should. This is the Tower. It says Malleus on here. Like there's something significant about that. I need to get an iPod or something like that I can look this up. But see, it's a feminine, and from the flames of this is escaping her true self, right? And she's escaping. And it's almost like she's been under a spell herself. And she's found the strength to escape. And everything is new, which, without her protective coating, leads her to vulnerability. Why is that not focusing there? So without her dragon skin, she's wide open. And there's justice on the bottom. Okay. So the tsunami with a wake-up call, we predicted then that the Tower was going to come up. So I'm almost wondering, if you were trying your best to hold something up, but something came up, or something dramatic happened, or you saw the other woman, or who knows, or you just woke up one day all of a sudden tired of this shit, right? Or the Tower could have been quarantined, and suddenly you're stuck with this man that you've been fighting so hard for, and it's like, what am I fighting for? This shit is exhausting. If I pour this cup out, what's waiting for me? This shit is exhausting. Okay, now Lisa, and now switch your deck. Okay, so we're going to switch to something dramatically different. Now switch your deck. Ah, with Empress on the bottom again. And Judgment on the bottom again. But these are very different. So Spirit just says, at the time, Spirit just said, I'm not going to take them, I'm going to put them back in the deck, but Spirit wanted me to show them to you. Spirit just says that it's like you've woken up and the veil is taken from your eye. Oh, just like it said here, right? We've been kind of pushing everything in the curtain. It's like, no, I'm going to call on somebody that can do magic, or I'm going to manifest under the moon. I'm going to manifest for my person that I'm trying to hold on to love me more, or for this other person that he seems to be attracted to disappear, or like you've been manifesting something very negative. Where really the spirit of manifestation is to bring in what's positive, right? Like, so, but you're tired of this now. And like now you're looking at this person that you're stuck with and it's like, what am I fighting for? And a sudden realization of, if I'm stuck in this too, then maybe there's something more for me. Because what's in this cup is getting more and more bitter. Okay, Missy. And I mean, people can be really judgmental of this so-called karmic. But I mean, hello, like you're in a relationship with somebody, you maybe have children with this person, and suddenly, they've grown cold, or maybe it's not suddenly, maybe it's been coming for a long time. But you're not ready to be just cast aside. Like you're garbage, like you're nothing. And so you've been trying to hold on to this, right? So like, well, people can say, oh, that karmic, and she's just holding on. It's like, well, who wouldn't? Sometimes I read these other readings, about the karmic, and it's like, well, who wouldn't? Especially if you've got kids. Like, who wouldn't want to hold on to that? Until sometimes, you hold on to something for so long, and then it just slips through your fingers, and you grab tighter, and that's what this is. You grab tighter, and finally you let go, right? And it's like this huge release. So, what have we got coming for this feminine? Knight of Swords. Which is cute in this one. This is the Knight of Flamingos. You know who this guy reminds me of? I mean, this guy's old, but he's kind of hot. He kind of reminds me of, oh my God, what's that guy's name? He's an actor. I think you all know. Put it in the comments if you know. Shoot. I just had a total brain fart. He's often like a cowboy. He was in Mask with Cher. Sam Elliott. Right? Hello? And you're like, ooh, yeah, Sam Elliott. So what does this feminine have waiting for her once she releases her dud? Because, I mean, frankly, you're looking at this masculine, and he's not, to you, he's not divine anymore. Right? He's like, jeez. And so that means it is kind of a karmic relationship. It was all perfect. It was all well and good, in the beginning. But, I mean, the purpose of it was for you to learn a lesson from each other, and then it wasn't meant to be forever. And now this is abundantly clear to you. And it's like, this is not worth holding on to, because what's my blessing? So can we have a peek into the future for this feminine? So something's coming in really quickly. Maybe a person. A twin flame. 6 of Cups. Hello, Alice. I would like to present you. I'm just going to read from the book, because this deck is so cute. Okay. So something's coming in, and now this here, right? So this is saying that you are experiencing thoughts of childhood and nostalgia, and the sweetness of memory, a desire for the old without measuring the true worth of the past. Sometimes this is the future. Traditionally, that is somebody coming in from your past or past life. Tell us about this feminine now. So 5 of Wands. So yeah, infighting. Like, you're just tired of this shit. Like, and they're kind of like batting each other with the peppercorns, so their wands, and they don't even know what they're doing anymore, right? It's just become their habit. Is this you in your relationship with your karmic? Like with this man, with this masculine that you've been fighting so hard for, and now you're like look at the looks on their faces, like, what, like, and you've been expending all this energy, and now you're looking back, it's like, what was I thinking? Okay, Tell us more story for this feminine to kind of encourage her. Whoa. Yep. So there's a King of Cups waiting for you. Which, frankly, the masculine hasn't been for you. He may be for this woman that's coming up. Which in other readings, like that might come forward. I don't know about your situation. But in other readings... Oh. He maybe has been cheating on you. And he's been leading on an act like a divine feminine who hasn't really wanted to get too involved with a married man. Some of them have. But they've been strung along. Like this masculine's been stringing them along. So I think for a lot of you that you're masculine, he has cheated on you. You're aware of this. If he hasn't physically cheated on you, he hasn't been loyal to you in his heart. And there's a woman, at least one woman, who is actually a good woman, that he has just been stringing along. And he's been telling her that you're awful. And he's been telling her that, you know, he's going to leave you anytime. But he doesn't because he's connected to you. And because you've worked really hard to keep him. But now you're like, why? Like, why? And so... So with this king, it just says the knight is bringing in a message. So that's what this tsunami was, is like something's coming, something might be coming up, or you might get confirmation that your man has, or your masculine has been cheating on you, or has feelings for this other woman, or you've received this already, right? And that, or you've been receiving it, or like these cards have said, you've been seeing it all along, but you didn't want to deal with it, so you just closed the curtain, right? And now it's like, no, I'm going to open the curtain and take a look at these messages I've been getting. I'm just going to see, the King of Hats and the Queen of Oysters came out. So I just want to see if that is the man that you're releasing, the King of Hats, or the man coming in. Can we get some clarification on this King of Hats fellow? Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I'm thinking that it's the masculine that you're with. Because he's judging, or he's kind of balancing things and holding what he has close to him. But see, there's a knife in this cake. I think that's yours. It's like, he's picking up that you're ready to cut him out. And that the choice will no longer be his. Can we get just a little bit more feedback on this King of Hats? Just the King of Cups. Because see this card, this does not look like the man we want. This looks like, I don't know what to do. It's a weak man. And it comes up, I'm pretty sure this is you, Queen of Oysters. It's like, fuck yeah. Right? So I do these readings, it's like, oh, you know, like the other readings that other people do that's so popular, this woman is the enemy. But it's like, I'm not trying to make money off of my channel. Like, I'm just doing it for authenticity. I'm only doing it because Spirit really leads me to. There's Justice again. Page of Hats. There's another message coming in. The Fool. Upside down, though. I don't normally take reversals, but it's like to take that and to take it reversed. So I'm just going to refer to my little book here. Huh. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is the masculine that you're with. And suddenly you see him, it's like, what? This is it? This is who he is. Reverse. It's like, this guy can't make a decision at all. He's faltering, and he's not caring if a decision is reached. So he's happy to just, like, let you spoil him and let you fight for him. It's good for his ego. It's like he's feeling like there's women fighting for him. And so he has no reason to leave you because you've been making things comfortable for him. Yeah, tides are changing. I'm just looking, I was just like going to check on you, like what's going on with you. Why is this not focusing? Queen of Oysters. So the season's changed. Was it landslide like Stevie Nicks? And she's like, seasons have changed and so have I. $2020. That's what feels like. All of a sudden everything's 2020. And we're in 2020, right? So that's interesting. Moving on. They just have me check the bottom, and the Six of Flamingos is taking that Empress energy of yours and leaving where you're at, not like just looking, just going, heading to other shores. Okay. Yeah, and there's your Empress again. She pops out. So there's a Six of Wands. Yeah, no. Okay. Empress. Empress. Double Empress. Yep. Fuck's sake. Okay, so here you are. You're emptying out that cup of crumbs. That poison cup, right? It's like, why isn't this focusing? Like, I'm so done with this. Because I'm looking to fill my cup, start over, and let that cup fill up with good things. Okay, Spirit. Really? Okay. Wow, okay, hold on. That deck here, yeah. Hold on. You might have some. Because I think things have been cold here. Or like routine. I think this is what is current. Why is this not focusing? Is current, like with this guy. It's like, okay. Like, just get it done, because there's that devil energy in the back. Okay. Okay, so what are we looking at? What is she going to fill her hat with now? Okay. What does the universe have for this woman? Now she has a hat to be filled. Filled with what? What's on that new shore? What can she expect? Ooh, it's being... Come on. Okay, so dear. Oh, wow. Okay. So the question was, what are we going to fill this hat with? Now you've emptied out the poison. You quit holding on to this guy who, quite frankly, I mean, maybe for this other woman, there'll be a better connection, but like your relationship he's a dud to you. Now you've got a hat to fill. The universe is saying, here, you've emptied out that old cup, here's a new cup. Right? My cup runneth over. New blessings. 10 of Pentacles. Where you're not going to have to hold on so tight to somebody, where somebody's going to be like worshiping you, where you're going to be number one. You don't have to fight for love. If you have to fight for love, it's not worth it. This is with the Two of Cups, so this is twin flame, this is marriage. This is mutual. This isn't just used like fine, right? This is mutual. Starting fresh and starting over. Look at this. Doesn't that seem like that would be something much nicer than what you currently got going on? Let this man, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair. I'm going to wash that man. I don't know that song that just came in. I really want this to focus, dang it. Spirit just said, you know what, that it's not focusing, and then it did focus. It's like because you're having a hard time imagining this. It's not in focus for you. It's blurry. Okay? So you need to be vigilant now about where you're going in your life. And be vulnerable. To dare to imagine this. Look at how comfortable she is. So you can't even imagine. It's not clear. Look how comfortable she is. And look at the look on his face. He loves you. He loves to pop. The things that annoy your karmic are the things this guy finds fascinating. You had a wake-up call, right? So that was a complex reading. You know, I never know what to call these. Like, I mean, how do you explain in a few words what this is? Anyway, I'm going to try. But there's so much more for you, okay, than sitting in this dark place. Yuck. Yuck. Oh, I went and lost that card. I was going to take a picture of it. Anyway, have a fantastic day. The sun's starting to shine here. I think I'm going to plant some potatoes. See you.